Committee G over there. What?
I'm already taking care of you. This is only the beginning. You're next. Get them!
Video game remakes are a dime a dozen nowadays. It seems as if older games are simply being brought to modern systems in shiny new packaging meant to serve as a replacement. It's not to say all remakes are bad, but there's always value in that original release. In the case of something like the House of the Dead 2 remake, the value of that original release was never lost on those who played it. Originally released in 1998, the House of the Dead 2 remains a crown jewel in the realm of the on-rail shooter genre. Of course, it's more so known for the quality of its voice acting more than the gameplay, but regardless, the House of the Dead as a series has carved a place for itself in the annals of gaming history, popularizing zombies in video games alongside the first Resident Evil. Like the first game's remake, it's not handled by Sega themselves, instead being published by Forever Entertainment and developed by its subsidiary, Megapixel Studio. They're responsible for the remakes of Panzer Dragoon and the Front Mission trilogy. All of these remakes upon release had various problems related to the quality of the game, be it in the visual or gameplay department. In the case of the House of the Dead 2 remake, while I can say that the gameplay remains fun and fast-paced, everything around that experience itself isn't up to snuff.
My son! He's waiting outside.
At a glance, the House of the Dead 2 remake looks fine. I'd argue the most damning thing about the game's presentation is the change in lighting. The important thing with an on-rail shooter is being able to see the enemies who are trying to kill you. House 2's remake has this weird thing with the lighting where, in some cases, the game looks perfectly fine, but in other cases, the lighting obscures character models, making the game look much worse than it actually is. Amy and Harry have their faces obscured at Sunset Bridge in Chapter 2, but I would argue the main offender here is Chapter 4. In the original game, you'd have a flashlight that would illuminate wherever you were aiming. Now, granted, the lighting of the original game was bright enough to see without needing a flashlight, but with the lighting changes in the remake, the flashlight would be very handy to have. However, it's completely missing. The Kageos at the very start of the chapter are just barely visible. In fact, I'd argue you can only see them just because they're 5 feet in front of you. And the 3 enemies just before the fight with Strength have the same problem. Not to mention the visible light cones in the entryway of Goldman HQ in Chapter 6. You can spot one appearing just before the camera swings around to show Rogan in the good ending.
James? James?
As a matter of fact, speaking of visible bits of game dev showing, there's weird transitions with both the lighting and the skyboxes. Like heading out of the church in Chapter 1, the lighting brightens, and the fight with the Emperor, the entire skybox shifts right in front of the camera. The same with the arena outside of Goldman HQ just before the fight with the Magician. You can spot a light cone at the very top, just barely visible as you approach the group of zombies. Voice acting, the aspect that House of the Dead 2 is known for, somehow took a nosedive. As I said earlier, the voice acting of House of the Dead 2 is bad, but it's bad in a way that's endearing.
People of the AMS, I am Goldman.
Amy! Harry!
Thank God you're alive.
What the hell's going on in this city?
Don't know, but it's very similar to the 1998 Tyrion case.
That case? Thanks. Sunset Bridge is just ahead.
I've been waiting for you, friends.
Goldman! Do you know what you're doing?
I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. Can't you see?
James, I tried. Don't underestimate the enemy. James, take this.
Looks like G's infiltration notes.
James,
Amy! Harry!
thank God you're all right.
What the hell's going on in the city?
Don't know, but it's very similar to the 1998 Tyrion case.
That case? It's been a while, hasn't it? My friends from the AMS. It's me, Goldman. I've been waiting for you, friends. Goldman! Do you know what you're doing? I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. Can't you see?
House of the Dead 2's remake, frankly, just has bad voice acting. So bad, in fact, that people suspected that the voiceover was all done through generative AI, which it's not, thank God. But the fact that the voice actors weren't credited in the first place and had to be added in an update remains mind-boggling. With on-rail shooters, the gameplay itself is simple. There are enemies wanting you dead, you have a plastic gun, you point at the screen and shoot them. You could use a normal controller, but that's only about a quarter of the fun you could be having with a light gun game. If you were playing this on the Switch or Switch 2, you'd have the option of aiming with the gyroscope on the Joy-Cons, but it's not as reliable as something like the Wii Remote or even those old plastic light guns. It becomes almost necessary to recenter the reticle every other enemy encounter, which is why I opted to get the game on Steam instead. Using a mouse isn't ideal for some, but I got used to it. In regards to difficulty, House of the Dead 2 Remake is strange in that regard. The bosses seem to have gotten either easier or slightly more difficult. I suppose in an attempt to add difficulty to Judgment, Zeal will duck behind Carl much faster, to the point where he'll pop up and then immediately jump back down. Hierophant, weirdly enough, was made easier. The final phase of the fight sees the boss jump down into the water before jumping back out. Now, the gimmick with Hierophant is that his weak point opens and closes randomly. This makes taking a hit almost a guarantee during this part of the fight. In the remake, the chest is open during the entirety of that attack. The real star of the show here is Strength, who's been made significantly easier in the remake, and it's much easier to shoot the weak point, whereas in the original he runs towards you like a chicken with his head cut off. As a game, House of the Dead 2 Remake offers the same fun of the original with a presentation that feels slapdashed and kept together by duct tape and staplers. Despite how some companies may view their older titles when they remake them, there's always value in the originals, as I said before. Sega was able to knock it out of the park in 1998, yet this remake left a bad taste in my mouth. Gameplay, while fun, is made annoying in certain instances where the lighting actively works against the player and makes the game look worse. The House of the Dead as a series deserves to be treated better than this.
People of the AMS, I am Goldman.